Melanie, the phone's ringing. Your husband's
That's my
already
husband.
saying.
You know that's my husband.
He's going, oh, what are they doing still over there? So.
He just wants to make sure I'm okay.
Okay. All right, folks. So stay tuned. Eileen Maher is going to be on in a minute doing the movie review. So we'll be right back. Thank you for watching. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Talk of the Town. I'm here with Eileen Maher, the movie review specialist for Milton and the world.
And the world.
And Eileen missed it. She didn't get to go with us over to Ben's Cookie Factory.
I know, because I started a new job, Brian. And, you know, that's kind of, well, that ties into Milton, and let me tell you why. A lot of people might not know that. All you people that live around Milton are certainly familiar with the wonderful, generous Copeland family, who have done so much for the town, the beautiful Copeland Fieldhouse up at the high school. Well, I just started a brand new job. The County Hospital, in their doctor's office building in the back, in the Seton Medical Building, has just opened the Copeland Wound Care Center and Hyperbaric Oxygen Center in the Seton office building, and I'm going to be one of the nurses running it. So very exciting.
So what is a wound center?
A wound care center is specifically a place where people come
who are wounded?
Who are wounded. But they have specific wounds, Brian. You wouldn't qualify. Typically it's wounds that for whatever reason aren't healing. A lot of it is people who have diabetes and they have foot ulcers, or people who have
wheelchair prone people.
A lot of people who are paraplegic or bedridden, and they have different kinds of wounds that for whatever reason, whether nutrition-wise or disease-wise, there are lots of different reasons, aren't healing. They've gone through they've seen their primary care, maybe they've seen a surgeon, they've done a whole bunch of things, and for whatever reason it's just not healing. They come to see us, and we have a specific protocol that we follow, and we have about an 89 to 90% healing rate of people who, for whatever reason, have never been able to get these wounds to heal.
But you said you have a hyper what?
Oh, we also have something called the hyperbaric oxygen chamber.
What is a hyperbaric? I saw that from the old movies with Sea Hunt. Do they have hyperbaric
they might
chambers
have,
in that?
and you know, it's tied into that. Anybody that's ever
was that Johnny Quest? Was he the
Was he the one
guy?
that used to have the thing on his
I
head?
don't
And
know.
I
guess I'm showing my age. Go ahead. So what does
well,
this
it's kind
thing
of
do?
tied into scuba diving. That's where you may have heard that before. People that go scuba diving and then ascend too quickly get something called the bends. They get nitrogen poisoning. And
they need that now because of the stock
oxygen,
market.
Yeah,
oh, that's the opposite.
They were put into place because what they do is they put you in a chamber, and our chambers are beautiful. They're I know, some kind of plexiglass. They're clear. And you get into a 100% oxygen environment. You know, the air that we breathe is only 21% oxygen.
Oh, why didn't you ask me that?
You knew that.
Our viewers know that.
Everybody knows that. Of course everybody knows that.
21% oxygen.
21% oxygen.
What's the rest of it?
Lots of other things. But they found that some wounds will really respond to this hyperoxygenated environment.
You know why they found that out?
How?
Because they could bill out a hyperbaric chamber at... No, I'm kidding. No one would ever think of $1.
It's scientifically proven, although it is fairly profitable as well.
Okay.
If we can get you in those chambers, my God, you're getting in that chamber.
It's a hell of a chamber they have over there.
So, just, for anybody out there in our listening area, if you do have a family member, a friend, you yourself have been struggling with a wound, you want to give us a call over at the
And you said something that's good for burn victims, did you say?
Yeah, it can be also used for people that burn victims.
Well, yeah, we're fortunate. I like to say Milton is the center of the universe, but we are pretty handy to a lot of quality services.
And you figure where we are, we're 5 minutes from the county hospital,
right.
So it's wonderful.
Well, maybe we'll have to go over there and film the wound center someday.
Yeah, once we get up and running, that will have to be one of our shows.
Aren't you up and running?
Well, we're just getting started. I know the furniture got delivered today. Hopefully the computers and everything will be
Did the hyperbaric chamber arrive yet?
They're there.
Oh,
they are beautiful. It's really cool.
They're having their coffee in there because there's no chairs.
It's a very intense therapy. If you do qualify for it and you do agree to do it, it's a minimum of 20 treatments.
How do you qualify?
Certain wounds do qualify, certain wounds don't.
Right.
But it's a minimum of 20 treatments, and each treatment is 2 hours, and they have to be Monday through Friday, consecutive.
How many chambers do they have?
We have 2 right now.
We have one patient because he needs it all the time.
No, we have 2 right now with the potential for 3. But the nice thing is that they're, like I said, they're clear so you can see out. And they also have...
so you don't get that claustrophobic
right,
feeling?
It's not, I don't know if you've ever had a CT scan or an MRI where you're...
I haven't.
Oh, they're horrible. But this is very wide open, and it has a nice... screen above it, so you can lie back, you can bring a DVD, you can watch TV, so it's as comfortable as they can get.
What is this world coming to? They can watch Talk of the Town or in the hyperbaric.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to start.
Do they have web access?
No, and I'll start bringing the discs in. I'll force them to watch it.
And they're in there. If you see someone banging on the side and they want you to open it up, it's because they don't like the show.
That would never happen. But anyway, we have not We have not done a show in quite
We
a
have
long
a new
time.
cameraman today.
We have a new cameraman today. I'm so happy.
Bill claps and he's over there killing himself.
Yeah. He's
Bill, take the headphones off. Come over here so
Come over
people
for a
can
minute
see
and
you, Bill. Come on. He's shy, so
He is.
you might see him on a future show. But we'll get
Bill is the real movie critic.
Come over here, Bill. Bill claps. Bill, this is the cameraman, so if you don't like the angle, this is the guy. We'll put him on the credits.
Let me tell you why Bill is here. Bill works for Boston EMS. He's a wonderful, wonderful
And he's going to
EMT.
take her to the
And
hospital.
whenever Bill comes into the county ER, I mean, not that the patient.
You didn't know you're going to be on TV this particular
No, I wasn't expecting it. Thanks for having me.
But whenever Bill comes in, all we do is talk movies. So I said, you got to come on, you got to talk movies. He's going to just watch tonight, but next time, hopefully, we'll get him to talk about a couple of Martin Scorsese films, especially one dealing with EMTs in New York City, and Bill can tell us what's real.
Maybe we can ride with him some night.
Yeah.
You'll be out of that truck in about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I won't like it, eh?
Well, I wouldn't say that, but
All right, well, we'll look forward to having you on one of our future editions of Talk of the Town.
thank
Right.
you, thank you.
Thanks, Bill. Thank you for running the
You
camera.
got to show
Appreciate
the
it.
cool tattoo, though. Bill told me he was getting a tattoo.
Yeah, but
Something to do with movies.
you have to go up and zoom
I
in
need
so
to
they
do
can
the
see.
camera.
They can see it. Look, it's huge.
Take the shirt off. Come on, does it go all the way up?
Now we get ratings.
It's a family show.
Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thank
Oh,
you.
thanks, Bill. Anyway, Brian and I, we have not gotten together since.
Bill, we hit pause for a minute. Just hit the red
Sure.
button, the record button, because I want to shut the door in the other room.
Well, Brian, it's been an awful long time since our last show. It was way
It's
before
been an awful long
Christmas.
time since you talked about a movie.
I know, I'm going to talk about movies now. But you know what? I got a great Christmas present from Tom, and I know I've talked about
Who's
this
Tom?
show
Oh,
before.
Tom.
My lovely husband, Tom.
She showed up with Bill. I thought she got rid of Tom.
Expanding my horizons. I think
Diversification.
I told you, it was probably a year or so ago that I really got into an HBO-produced show called Rome, and it was only on for 2 seasons, but boy, was it incredible, and as I've told people before, go get it. It's free at Old Colony Library Network. Pop it in. You can go online, you can request it, they'll tell you when it's ready, and I got it for Christmas, so it's such a delight now to just sit down and watch
Tom's
and
got it
rewatch.
easy, doesn't he?
I'm-
Just has
he
to
does
give
have
her
it
a
easy.
DVD.
I don't,
Lucky man.
I don't ask for
He's
diamonds,
a
just
lucky man.
DVDs. All right, let me get to the films. I think what I'm going to do.
So wait, so Rome is a good film.
Rome. It's not. A
She
film.
hasn't seen it yet.
I didn't see it. It's an HBO produced series. It was on for 2 months.
okay.
Actually, what I want to do, I'm going to jump all
Oh
over
my
the
God,
place.
you're not
I'm
gonna
do
read
the
all
best
those
that I
notes,
can.
are you?
No. I'm going to start with the things that I absolutely loved, because I saw a whole bunch of things I loved, and unfortunately I did see a few that I absolutely hated and I want to warn you away from. But let me start with probably my favorite film of 2008, and it's a documentary called Man on Wire, and it details the August 7th, 1974 wire walking exploit of a Frenchman named Philippe Petit, and it's a true story. It's a documentary, and it's
Is he a small guy?
He is. Petit is absolutely appropriate. He's small, he's thin, but he's all muscles. He's wiry, but he's all
Philippe.
muscles. Philippe Petit.
Okay.
And it is a documentary, and it goes from showing him doing these incredible feats. He walked across the towers at Notre Dame, and by a wire walker, do you understand what I'm saying, or can you kind of get the impression of what I'm saying?
What do you think?
A tightrope walker. I know.
You didn't.
Well,
You
I never
want to
heard that
line
before.
up
Well, I never heard that
Come
term
on.
before until this movie.
Thank you. Thank you for the confidence.
And it just talks about his lifelong passion for wire walking. And where does this all come about? He decides to walk across the 2 towers of the World Trade Center. He's in a dentist's office, and he is just flipping through, and he sees an article detailing what will soon be the tallest buildings in the world, the Twin Towers. And at that moment, this is his life, this is his
vision.
destiny. And he starts from then until 2 years later when he actually does the wire walk, planning, preparing, getting every one of
make it?
his incredibly dedicated friends to help him. There's one really beautiful scene where they're in a field and he has the wire set up to simulate what the conditions will be like at the top of the World Trade Centers with the winds and the gusts and everything. And as he walks with his, I don't know what you call that stick, the balance stick or whatever they call it, his friends are on either side yanking as hard as they can, swaying, and as he's trying to maintain his balance. And just every friend and every person that he ever comes in contact with
Hell of a friend.
here in the United States, in France, I mean, this man, he just He draws you in.
Is he still alive?
He is still alive. You just want to grab him and hug him, Brian. You just want to grab him and you just want to have him sit down for dinner. But I want everyone to see this, and I think what I liked best about this was...
What did you like best? This is the best film of 2008.
This was probably, yeah, for me it was absolutely the best film of 2000. And you may never even have even heard of it, which to me is the biggest injustice of all, that there are so many incredibly independently produced movies out there.
Hollywood studios.
I know
it's
that.
all about the money.
This probably made $50, you know.
Well,
it was
you
directed
had
by,
bootlegged it.
I didn't bootleg it. I would never bootleg it. I got it on Netflix, as you know.
Bill, you can't laugh over here. It goes on the TV show.
But what I liked about it is it shows the Twin Towers as they're being built. It shows his exploits gaining entry. And one of the most brilliant things that happened to him is, by accident, he steps on a nail and he has to be on crutches. And guess what happens to a man on crutches? The world opens up. People hold doors for you. People let you in places you probably should never be. So because of this accident, it actually allowed him to gain access into places that he never should have been. And it was just, again, because we're thinking that it's the World Trade Center, I kept waiting. When are they going to take advantage? When are they going to show the towers coming down? When are they going to show, oh yeah, well he did this wonderful thing, but this is what happened. And they never make reference to it.
Because that wasn't what the story was about.
And it was beautiful. So Man on Wire, it's rated, I don't even think it was rated. If I had to rate it, I would give it a G rating. Or maybe, well, you know, it's French. So there's a scene or two where he talks about when he is done climbing the towers.
G is equal to an R in French.
Actually, I still would rate it G. I still would say it's for the whole family. There might be a scene where he completes his mission when he goes on a romp or two with a lovely lady who's not his girlfriend. But again, sauvez les French, Brian, right? I mean, that's how it has to be. Just absolutely favorite.
Okay, Man on a Wire.
Man on a Wire, and probably my other favorite film of the year, which I reviewed ages ago, Wall-E. If you haven't seen Wall-E, it's out on DVD. Make sure that you see it.
Deval Patrick said he was going to take me to see
That's right,
Wall-E.
when Deval Patrick was on the show. He still hasn't invited us over to see it on the big screen. Well, I have a big screen TV now. Everybody can come to my house and watch Wall-E.
Okay.
Let me talk about some things that I saw with Noelle that I think, again, great for the whole family. Bedtime Stories, starring Adam Sandler, who people love him, people hate him. I just love him, you know. For the most part, he's one of my favorite guys. His movies, most of them, if you're in a really bad mood, I can watch Wedding Singer, I can watch Happy Gilmore 100 times. I can be having the worst day of my life and pop that popcorn and sit down and watch these movies and feel really good, have a great laugh. And Bedtime Stories is right along the same line, except it's even more family friendly than most of the Adam Sandler's pictures. It's rated PG, directed by a man named Adam Shankman, who I've talked about before. He directed both Hairspray, Cheaper by the Dozen too, and as I've said before, this is a man who loves kids, loves families, and really knows how to direct a family-friendly movie. Gets it right every time. Not saccharine sweet, not sappy, just a good story. And basically what it is Adam Sandler is taking care of his sister's 2 children while she has to go away looking for a job. They tell bedtime stories. They both, he and his niece and nephew, compile stories together, and funny things start to happen the day after each story. Parts of the story come true, and you have to kind of figure out how that happens. And he basically is a handyman in a hotel that used to be run by his father, was taken over by somebody else, and a real standout member of the supporting cast is Guy Pearce in this. And if you know Guy Pearce from Memento maybe, or LA Confidential, or really another great family movie called Two Brothers, about 2 tiger brothers and their mother, he is absolutely hysterical.
Oh, I remember Two Brothers.
Two Brothers, great movie. Guy Pearce, I wish we could see more of him, and actually I did.
Yeah, it was a great movie. You bring your young kids because the tiger dies, the mother gets killed early in the show.
But does she?
And the kids...
You need to rewatch that movie,
I didn't
Brian.
watch it, and we left.
Well, the mother doesn't die.
The kids were all upset. If
Well,
I'm thinking of the right movie...
You are, but
They
don't
were
be
young.
making comments on things. You need to watch it to the end because the mother doesn't die.
I'll make whatever comments I want.
How dare you, Tom?
My
Anyway,
goodness.
since we're talking about Guy Pearce, let me just jump around a little bit. So
Brian,
Bedtime Stories.
The kids
Adam
thought the
Sandler.
mother died, so
She
it
doesn't.
still had the same emotional
Well, you have to
impact
stay till
on the
end.
kids.
Who else was in Bedtime Stories? Lucy Lawless, who I haven't seen in ages. Xena, Warrior Princess. She and Guy Pearce kind of have a little relationship going on that's not above board. Very funny, very nice. A lot of the reviewers did not like this at all, and I don't know why. I thought it was very enjoyable. All my kids enjoyed it. very funny. Adam Sandler has really become, well, he's got children now, so he's trying, I guess, to even be more family friendly. But just speaking of Guy Pearce, I just saw a great DVD called Traitor, and that was directed by Jeffrey Nachmanoff, who I'd never heard of before, and he really hasn't directed anything of note. He's a Californian. It didn't say when he was born. But he did write the screenplay for Day After Tomorrow, which was Jake Gyllenhaal and Dennis Quaid's apocalyptic, oh, the world is frozen.
Folks, she always looks at me like I'm supposed to know what she's talking about.
But what I thought was kind of interesting about Traitor is it was co-written by Steve Martin, who is really an incredibly talented person. You know, he's written plays, he's written all kinds of stuff. And if you haven't had a chance, PBS has a special running the next couple of weeks all about comedy in America. And last night they just did a segment with Steve Martin. Remember him with the arrow through the head? I'm a wild and crazy guy, you know? And here he is writing this incredible tale. You know what I'm saying. But Steve Martin, man, he surprised me. Because when I'm looking it up, it said co-written by Steve Martin. And I'm like, that can't be the right Steve Martin. And I checked, and it is. It's Steve Martin. But Traitor stars Don Cheadle, great actor. He plays Samir Horn, who has a Chicago-born mother and a Sudanese dad.
He plays Samir Horn?
His name is Samir
Oh,
Horn.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
He's a devout Muslim, and he's actually been part of special operations, explosives for the U.S., but who is he really working for? He gets in with, a terrorist cell, and it seems like wherever he shows up, a bomb goes off, and who is he working for, and a lot of intrigue.
Are you going to tell us?
I'm not going to tell you, of course not. But Don Cheadle, I can sit, and like I said,
It's
there's
called
some actors. Traitor. It's on DVD. It came out, it didn't look like something I was interested in. The previews, again, we talked about previews before, how they can sway people. This preview was awful. It looked derivative of every other movie like this out at the time. You know what? Because I love Don Cheadle, and it was on DVD, and I said, what the heck, I'll sit around and watch. I'll watch it, and I really enjoyed it. So it's called Traitor. It's about 2 hours long, and again, Guy Pearce is in it. He plays an FBI agent who is really, really cool. Good cop, bad cop. He's the good cop. He's really suave in it. And just love to see Guy Pearce. He's an Australian who plays an American cop really well. If you haven't seen LA Confidential, you've got to see that. So, Traitor, you want to see that? 2 thumbs up. Bedtime Stories, 2 thumbs up for the whole family. Traitor was rated R, and that's definitely not for the whole family. Now, another absolute favorite movie of 2008.
Well,
I guess
I have
for
the
three.
whole family if the whole family is older.
Much older, yeah. 3 favorite movies of the year. Wall-E, Man on Wire, and Slumdog Millionaire. This was directed by...
Did you see Slumdog Millionaire?
No, Brian, I'm just going to say it was one of my favorite movies of the year because I think it sounds cool.
Why did you just read the reviews in the Globe?
I just read all the reviews. Why, did the Globe like it?
Well, everybody
I think everybody liked it. And believe me, everybody will like it.
I heard about it. Was it playing in Dedham?
It is playing in Dedham. Oh, let me tell you, there's a great double feature playing in Dedham right now.
It's just opening in India now.
Is it?
It hadn't played there yet.
Oh, I wonder how it will go over. That's interesting.
They had a picture of the ad for it on a pole in the slums and had some poor kid, half naked on the ground.
Oh, gosh.
Poverty-stricken child, and then they have the advertisement for the movie.
I wonder how much it costs to go to the movies in India.
They love movies over there.
Well, Bollywood,
I was going to say that.
Oh, Don, you actually could have made
a
comment.
The musical score was written by a guy from India.
Oh, was it?
Yes, and it's getting rave reviews. They're expecting rave reviews in India.
Well, I have to tell you, I was so engrossed in the story, I can honestly say I didn't even hear the music.
That poor guy, that poor person that wrote the music.
Let me talk about Slumdog Millionaire. Rated R, although I
agree,
don't know
you don't
why.
hear the music sometimes.
I'm sitting there going, why is this movie rated R? I want every one of my kids to see this movie. It's directed by Danny Boyle. He's a 52-year-old Manchester, England man.
Well, we talked about the rating board before.
I know.
We can't always go by that.
I know. And he directed, another really great movie called Train Spotting about IV drug abusers in Scotland. Oh, and come to think about it, one of the guys from Rome was in there. Kevin McKidd, who is now on that stupid hospital show. What's that stupid one? The hospital show. No, the other one with McDreamy.
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean.
Yeah.
See how it all ties in, though, Brian? It all ties in. Anyway, it's directed by both Danny Boyle and also a young Indian woman, Loveleen. I love that name. Loveleen Tandon, who was a director with him in India. It's the story of a man named Jamal Malik. He is a slumdog, grew up in the slums of India with his brother, were orphaned, had to make their way, in one of the most heart-rending scenes of the whole film, the little Jamal, a famous is he a wrestler, a famous, who is it that comes to town? I think it's a famous movie star comes to town. And he's...
Because they love movies.
Yes, and he is in the latrine, and his mean older brother locks him in there.
Someone doesn't know what a latrine is.
Who doesn't know what a latrine is? An outdoor...
Could be one of the viewers.
All right, it's an outdoor bathroom. Anybody that's a Girl Scout or Boy Scout certainly knows their latrines. So he gets stuck. His older brother locks him in the outdoor latrine. And, the movie star's only there for a few minutes. And the kid has a card that he wants the movie star to sign. So how do you get out of a latrine? He jumps into the big pile of dung, runs through the crowd. People part ways for this boy covered in dung. He makes it up there. He gets his autograph, and doesn't his older brother go and sell it? Oh, just broke my heart. Anyway, Jamil Malik is played by a young Indian man named Dev Patel, and his job is I don't know, how do you say that tea, that Indian tea? Is it chai? He works in a call center, because you know how all of the call centers, a lot of times you call for help on products.
I called Milton Town Hall. I got Mumbai.
Yeah. He works in the call center bringing tea to everybody, and they have their own version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, the Indian version, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and while they're all watching, he somehow gets on the phone and gets himself as a contestant. And he does very well. He does so well that he draws the attention of the local authorities, who can't believe this kid from the slums. And the whole movie revolves around him being tortured and showing past events in his life that allowed him to answer each question correctly. Absolutely beautiful story. A little bit of a love story in there. A story of survival of the fittest.
See how her voice gets soft.
His brother gets in with the mob because, hey, what else are you going to do, right? You got to survive. You got to eat. Great story. So three of my top picks. All right, we got 5 more minutes. I'm going to talk quick. So Slumdog Millionaire rated R, but I still would bring the kids to see that. Along with Slumdog Millionaire right now, playing at Dedham Community, where they do serve beer and wine and popcorn with
Not
real
that it would be of interest to Eileen.
Is Gran Torino, Clint Eastwood's newest. He directed.
I read the reviews about that.
You know what I'm going to call it? Instead of Dirty Harry, Jerry Harry, because it's old. It's old Dirty Harry. But nobody looks as menacing as 78-year-old Clint Eastwood when he goes like this with his finger.
Nobody does it better.
Asian gangs. Awesome. It's the story of a young man in, was it Chicago? I don't know. Detroit. Yeah, it's in Detroit. And his wife has just passed away, and their neighborhood has turned over. It's a lot of, they're Hmong families have moved in, and it's some kind of an Asian.
What kind of family?
Hmong. Hmong. Very nice families, but he's of
they
the
came
old
among
school,
them.
and he's the
among
only
them.
one. He's the only white guy left in the whole neighborhood. There are gangs taking over, but right next door is a lovely family, and they try to befriend him. He wants none of that until the young boy that lives next door gets mixed up with the gang, and as an initiation has to try and steal his beloved 1972 mint
Gran
condition
Torino.
green Gran Torino, and what a beautiful car that is, and that is his prized possession. He
Did they
befriends
have
the
the record
boy.
for the movie?
I'm not going to give his name because I couldn't have stood that, let me tell you. But his kids, his grandkids, nobody understands him, nobody loves him, but he makes a real connection with this family. And Clint Eastwood has never looked better, never looked more virile, never looked more powerful. And like I said, all he has to do with these gangs going by, although he does use a real gun at times, he just takes his finger, and it's just like, whoa, this is a strong man. I really loved it. It's a little bit over the top.
So
I think Clint Eastwood is an over-the-top director.
Man.
I didn't mean that. It's a little bit over the top. The pervasive racial slurs, I think, detract from the movie a little bit, but I still loved it. Another one for the whole family, Tale of Despereaux.
Are there any lessons in it?
Oh, of course there's lessons.
I'm
It's Clint
just
Eastwood.
checking.
Clint Eastwood is a lesson-bound filmmaker. You know, you've seen all his movies. That is Clint Eastwood.
just checking.
He's old school. And there's nothing wrong with that.
The School of
So two
Hard
great
Knocks.
movies. Two great movies you want to go to Dedham Community for. They're both playing Slumdog Millionaire and Gran Torino. Go see them. Tale of Despereaux for the kids. It's based on the Kate DiCamillo book, and you might know her from Because of Winn-Dixie. Cute, but not great. Very disappointed. Noelle, who read the book.
Sweet and saccharine.
Yeah, very disappointed. There's a huge list of accomplished stars who voiced Matthew Broderick, Dustin Hoffman, Emma Watson.
Don't give them any credit
who
if
you
it's
know
a lousy
as
movie.
Hermione. I can't say it was lousy. It just wasn't all that good. Wait for that one on video. I would definitely wait for Tale of Despereaux.
Wait for that one for your
On
neighbor
video.
to copy it.
We've got 2 minutes. I'm just going to say,
man.
I saw Valkyrie, directed by Brian
Who?
Singer,
Valkyrie?
who's a 43-year-old New York City guy. He did X-Men 2, Superman Returns, and you know what? This was out of his league. This is not a superhero type movie. I thought his direction was way off. I thought Tom Cruise was okay,
Oh,
but not
this
great.
one, Tom
But
Cruise,
Tom
okay.
Cruise was just overrun by the incredibly talented British cast. You have Bill Nye, Kenneth Branagh, Tom Wilkinson. He just couldn't.
So was it worth
handle
going to or not?
Wait for Valkyrie on video. I enjoyed it. You can't keep up all that much tension when you kind of know what's going to happen. If you know anything about the story, it's about Germany, World War II, and an attempt on Hitler's life. And apparently there were many attempts on Hitler's life. And I don't know if this movie's trying to say, you know what, Germany, there were a lot of people that really weren't happy with what was going on, that Hitler was in power. Things I want you to stay away from. Yes Man with Jim Carrey. And I saw the previews for this, and I thought this was going to be great. And it just was not very good.
Oh, this is one that he has to say yes to everything.
Which the beginning of the movie I thought was great, because this is a guy who was saying no to everything, now he's saying yes to everything, and he's seeing life, and he's getting out there, and he meets a beautiful woman, Zooey Deschanel, who I think is completely wasted in the role. I wish somebody would please take this woman and make her a leading woman, because she is so incredibly talented. The movie was just, okay, we got 1 minute. The movie was just blah. If you want to see it, if you're a Jim Carrey fan, again, wait for the DVD.
Did he say yes to her?
He did say yes to her.
But then I heard he had to say yes to some.
Right, he has to say yes to everything. And you know what I really hate about Yes Men? I don't know about this horrible trend lately in films, and I saw it in Pineapple Express, which I'm going to downplay next as well. Just Fionnuala Flanagan is in it as his elderly next-door neighbor. And you might know her from Brotherhood, Tom Kemp, who was on with us before, who was in that great Showtime series out of Rhode Island about the mob brothers from the mob and the good guy, basically the brawl.
That was the
from Rhode
something
Island.
brothers, right? The wrote
Okay,
that?
we got to go.
That's it.
Yes Man was no
It's
good.
0.
So that means no more tape?
We're over.
Bye! Don't say Pineapple